We're next going to hear from Jimmy Morrison. Jimmy is a former director of Iowa Patients. He's going to share a letter or some testimony from Maria Smallow. Maria can't be with us tonight. She was diagnosed with a neurological condition in 1980. She lives in Fairfield, and she's been a quadriplegic and bedridden since 1997. She would love to be here to talk to us about this issue, but Jimmy's going to do it for her. Jimmy.
I'm here today to speak on behalf of Maria Smallow. She could not be here today because she is bedridden. This is her testimony. My name is Maria Smallow. I am a senior citizen and have had a chronic progressive neurological condition, which is also an autoimmune disease, for the past 33 years. There is no cure. I am in severe pain and all that that implies. I am also quadriplegic and have pain and all that that implies. Skin breakdown, recurring UTIs, and vertigo, to name a few. At the very least, medical cannabis would relieve my nerve pain. I'm quite confident from all that I have read that it would also stop the progression of my condition, which would be of great benefit before I possibly go blind and lose my ability to swallow. I recently spoke to my neurologist of the last 20 years. When I asked him about medical cannabis, he told me that it would be good for me. He also assured me that it has absolutely no negative side effects. He is very well read and up to date with all of the medical journals. Medical cannabis could add years to my life and would certainly add to the quality of my life by easing my pain and letting me get some much needed rest. There is solid evidence that medical cannabis is effective against autoimmune diseases such as mine. Governor Branstad and the legislators of Iowa, will you deny the only medicine that will help a senior citizen with severe medical problems? Thank you, and I will be happy to provide you with countless studies documenting the efficacy of medical cannabis if you are interested. Sincerely, Maria Smallow. Joe mentioned that my name is Jimmy Morrison. I have bipolar type 2 disorder, and I was actually mugged in Minneapolis trying to obtain my medicine. People like Marie aren't able to find their medicine on the black market, and even younger people like me oftentimes cannot and are forced to meet with people we don't know. When I was mugged, I was held down by one person, and the other person punched me repeatedly in the head. They tried to spend about $3,000 on my credit card, and they took my money. They took my shoes and my socks and my shirt. They threatened to shank me, and when I took off my shirt for them on command, I was able to step back and assess the situation and see that they, in fact, did not have a knife, and I was able to run. But that's what we're forced to turn to in these states that don't have legal medical marijuana. And the reason for that is because people like Governor Branstad, who's basically threatened to veto any legislation that passes, and people like the Iowa Board of Pharmacy, even though they did recommend that we have medical marijuana in Iowa, they do have the legal authority to implement it themselves, thanks to a bill from 1979, where the legislature gave them that authority. So this is something where a select few have the power over me and the power over businesses of whether or not they can sell me the medicine, and over doctors and therapists, and whether they can recommend medicine to patients. So another story I would like to share with you is an interaction I had with a police officer. Unlike some of these other patients that aren't able to get their medicine, I oftentimes am able to get my medicine, and I'm able to be a productive small business owner. And I ran into a police officer, and he smelled marijuana on me. This is something that obviously, if I was arrested, it would cause severe distress within my relationships, within my family, within my business contacts, anything. This police officer, once talking to me and hearing my story and hearing the testimony that I had to give, he let me go. So I think while we actively fight to change these laws and try to get either Branstad to change his mind or get him out of office, I think we also need to realize that there are other ways that we can help people, and one of those ways is education. Police officers need to hear our stories so that they can do a similar situation. Or if you can do jury duty, or if you can educate other people that are going to be doing jury duty, talk to them, because they can say not guilty. They can refuse to enforce these laws that are hurting the people of Iowa. So with that, I thank you, and I look forward to talking to any of you afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy.